towards the far side by Kubler, and it's loose on the far side outside the penalty, and Villa have come away with it now. And then the shot comes in, which is well wide of the goalkeeper's left-hand post in the end from Morgan Rogers. It was a speculative effort from the England international. Just opened up for him on the edge of the penalty area, fed by Victor Lindelof, right-footed, looking to curl it towards the goalkeeper's left-hand side into the top corner. And in the end, Noah Achibulo watched it every step of the way as it went well wide of the post. Goal kick then for Freiburg. Nearly 10 minutes played here at Besiktas Park. Villa 0, Freiburg 0. Playing out from the back again, the Germans. It's worked out well as they find Ginter right-hand side of the penalty area. Forward it goes towards Eggestein. Eggestein on to Manzambi. But touches it a little bit heavy, and in the end there's a foul there on Tielemans. So free kick for Villa, left-hand side of the centre circle, inside the Freiburg half. The foul by Matanovic on the Belgian. And well, he set the stall out early, didn't he, with that yellow card on Philipp Try, but that foul by the ex-Frankfurt man was probably just as bad as the one on John McGinn earlier, but it's not resulted in a caution from the French referee. Free kick then to Villa, played low out towards the far side, level with the edge of the penalty area. Here comes the cross towards the far post, but it's got far too much on it in the end. Disappointing delivery from Yuri Tielemans, and it's behind for a goal kick to Freiburg. In the meantime, there's a Freiburg player down on his haunches at the moment, and it's the number 8 Max Eggestein back on his feet now. Freiburg's first ever European final. No surprises there. They've never qualified for the Champions League before, looking to do that for the first time. And they have made one major final in their history, and that was the 2022 German Cup final, where they lost on penalties agonisingly after a 1-1 draw with RB Leipzig. They lost the penalty shootout 4-2. Goal kick then, as the keeper goes long. Down the centre, gets the little flick on as well towards Manzambi. A little bit of head tennis. Manzambi comes away with it again, brings it down on the chest. Can't quite bring it down, and in the end, it's a touchback to the goalkeeper by Lindelof. First time clearance from Emi Martinez out towards the far side, and the ball is just about kept in play. Good work by Luca Dean. Back it goes towards the edge of his own penalty area. Pau Torres back to Emi Martinez. First time clearance. Now here's Lindelof. Now McGinn turns just outside the centre circle, then loops one out towards the far side. That's a brilliant ball as well from the Scot Watkins, left-hand side of the penalty area. There's the ball into the box. It's a really poor one from Watkins, and all he could find was Lucas Kubler. And Freiburg can bring it away. That was promising as well. What a lovely turn and ball forward that was by John McGinn, who was the hero, really, wasn't he, in the semi-final, that second leg against Nottingham Forest at Villa Park. Here's Lienhardt, edge of the D. Low ball out towards Ginter. Over the halfway line it goes, and that's a really poor ball by Manzambi. Straight out of play, thrown to Villa. Just shy of the halfway line, down the Villa left. Villa having the better of it so far. And just the one opportunity, one sight of goal, really, that Morgan Rogers shot, which was comfortably saved by the Freiburg goalkeeper, Achibulo. Throw-in will be taken over on the far side by Luca Dean. Goes long down the line. It's worked out quite well, actually, that one. It's brought down by Watkins, almost level with the edge of the penalty area. Infield towards Morgan Rogers. It's cut out, and it can be cleared long down that right-hand side by Lienhardt towards the halfway line. There's the header from Lindelof. Shouts of a handball, and it will be given as well. Free kick for Villa for the handball by Max Eggestein, as Tielemans just sort of looped it over. It's the most obvious, most obvious handball you'll ever see. Free kick then for Villa, who play it back inside their own half. Here's Ezri Konsa under a little bit of pressure from Matanovic. Goes back to Emi Martinez. For a lot of these Villa players, this will be the biggest match they've ever played in their careers. Not this man, of course. World Cup winner, Emi Martinez. Villa then go long down that left-hand side. There's the header clear out towards the far side by Eggestein again. And they're going to get a free kick here, actually. Foul on Manzambi by Luca Dean. So free kick to Freiburg. Dean just holding on to the Swiss international. Free kick then for Freiburg. Midway inside the Villa half, over on the far side, just a few yards infield from the right-hand touchline. And an opportunity here for the Germans to pump one in towards the edge of that Villa penalty area. Currently, Grifo, the Italian, the Freiburg captain, looks as if he's going to take this one. In it comes, and it's a poor delivery, which is easily headed cleared out towards the far side. They'll get another free kick in a similar position, though, because as the ball was cleared, there's a foul there. It's going to be a yellow card as well, and Buendia's talked himself into the book there for complaining about the foul. The initial foul was given, no more than that, but Buendia has complained to the French referee about the decision, and he's talked himself into a yellow card there, which evens up that particular stat. So Buendia joins Philip Try in the book, and the trainer is on as well. Flailing arm from the Argentinian. Not happy with the decision, and the referee not happy with his reaction to the decision, which has resulted in that yellow card. So another free kick to Freiburg, just a few yards further forward than the previous one. And another opportunity, it was the foul on Nicolas Bester, the ex-Benfica man, who has a super beard. It's a beard, like a beard from the past. Not one of these modern, well-trimmed sort of designer stubble beards that you see these days. It really is a beautiful bit of growth from the number 19. And he's behind this free kick again, as is Grifo, who played the previous one in. So it's either going to be Grifo or Bester. Right foot option, left foot option. The Villa defensive line just on the edge of the 18-yard line. It's going to be Grifo. Right-footed. As Bester walks away, and it comes right-footed. It's a good delivery as well. Headed clear towards the edge of the penalty. Shot comes in, and it's drilled wide of Emi Martinez's left-hand post, and that was an opportunity. Villa didn't deal with it particularly well at all, and Nicholas Herfler in the end got the shot in from just inside the penalty area. The ball comes in. It's headed clear, but it's not headed particularly well clear. It might have been Watkins actually with the header, and then left-footed from just inside the penalty area. He hits it down into the ground, and Emi Martinez looked beaten, but so too was the left-hand post, and it goes behind for a goal kick, but a warning shot there for Villa. And an unnecessary free kick to give away as well for Buendia, which, as well as getting him, or eventually, ultimately getting him a yellow card, almost resulted in an opening goal as well for Freiburg. But we played nearly 18 minutes here at Besiktas Park. It remains Villa 0, Freiburg 0 here in the Europa League final. Villa have got a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area. Pau Torres is behind it. He's going to go long left-footed. Drills it long inside that Freiburg half. Little flick on by Ollie Watkins towards Rodgers. Watkins get it back over on the far side. Down the line it goes to Luca Dean. Luca Dean turns, plays it back inside his own half. Here's Pau Torres, left-hand side of the centre circle. Square to Konza. And Konza's got Cash near him. Almost loses possession and needs Cash actually to bail him out. He then goes back to the goalkeeper. Good work actually from Matanovic there, chasing down the Villa defence to try and win the ball back. But Villa have found a way out. Here's Cash. Over the halfway line it goes. Ball immediately played back to him by Morgan Rodgers. Now Lindelof picks it up, right-hand side of the centre circle. Tillemans inside that centre circle, and the Belgian plays a low one towards the edge of the penalty area. That's only going to find a red shirt, and it's tidied up and goes back to the goalkeeper. An unconvincing clearance from the goalkeeper. Drills it out of play under very little pressure whatsoever. Gives the ball back to Villa. Throw in for the Premier League side on the halfway line down their right-hand side. It's going to be taken by Matty Cash. No World Cup for Cash, of course. He's a Polish international. They failed to qualify for the World Cup. No Robert Lewandowski in the summer. Unfortunately, Villa win the ball back well down this right-hand side. Really good work again by Ollie Watkins. Watkins still has possession. Low out towards this near side. He goes back down the line towards Victor Lindelof now. And Lindelof thought about swinging the ball into the box, but in the end just goes back towards the halfway line, and Ezri Konsa. Eventually the ball does come into the box. There's the header clear towards the edge of the penalty area. McGinn heads it out towards this near side, looking for Cash, and Cash keeps the ball in play, but in doing so just puts it out of play himself. He prevented the throw-in, but actually just puts it out of play for a goal kick. He might have been better leaving that, Cash, in the end. It's gone behind. It's a goal kick for Freiburg. 20 minutes played here at Besiktas Park. Villa 0, Freiburg 0. It was an all-English final, of course, last year. Two teams that really struggled in the Premier League, of course. Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. Tottenham coming away with a win that particular night by a 0-0, qualifying them for the Champions League. And here we are a year on, and Villa and Spurs, I should say, are fighting a relegation battle. Last day of the Premier League season, of course, on Sunday. And all eyes will be on Tottenham and West Ham, because the small matter of the Premier League title has been resolved after last night's game at Bournemouth. Now then, here come Freiburg down this near side. Well, that's a strong challenge by Cash, and he's not going to get away with that one, and he's going to go into the book as well. This referee, he set out his stall so early with that yellow card inside the first 5 minutes for Philip Trine. The problem is he's set the standard now, and the high boot from Cash on Grifo has resulted in another caution. And so Cash joins Emi Buendia. Yeah, it's quite a nasty one, actually, that from Cash. The studs are up. Foot's far too high. It's not a nice one at all, actually, from Cash. It's really not. He's lifted the leg, lifted the right leg, as the ball is loose between himself and Vincenzo Grifo. And he's caught the Italian there. And he goes into the book. Free kick for Freiburg as we edge towards the midway point of this first half. But before all that, we've got the trainer on. Freiburg finished 7th in the Bundesliga. Bayern, of course, the runaway winners yet again, winning the Bundesliga under Vincent Kompany. They ended up with 89 points. They broke all sorts of records. They scored 122 goals in their 34 games, which was a Bundesliga record. They had a goal difference of plus 86, which was another record. It's sensational numbers from Vincent Kompany's men, who lost just the one game out of their 34, in the end winning by 16 points. Dortmund in second, RB Leipzig getting third, Stuttgart fourth, Hoffenheim fifth, Leverkusen, the champions, of course, 2 years ago, in sixth, and then Freiburg in 7th. Trainer now coming off, and appears as if Vincenzo Grifo, who himself used to play for Hoffenheim, in front, is okay. And no World Cup, of course, for him to look forward to, being an Italian. For the third successive World Cup, no representative from the four-time champions. Free kick then for Freiburg. Bester's going to take it. Left-footed. Swings it in towards the far post, and it evades absolutely everybody. And it can be cleared in the left-back position for Villa. Down the line they go. Left-footed. Little flick on by Buendia, but there's nobody ahead of him. And then lash clear by Kubler. There's the header clear from Torres. Can Villa keep the ball in play? Indeed they can. Here's Tillemans. Knocks it towards his left-hand side. The ball goes immediately back inside the Villa half. Back to Pau Torres. Left-footed. Curls it out towards this near side. Cash in acres of space. Brings it over the halfway line. And then puts the afterburners on. Leaves it now for McGinn. He's continued his run down that right-hand side. But rather than McGinn feeding him, he goes back to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof slows it down to walking pace, then plays it low inside the centre circle to Konsa. Everybody now, bar Emi Martinez, inside the Freiburg half, as Villa look to force the issue here in Istanbul, but they've gone all the way back to the Argentinian goalkeeper now, just on the edge of his penalty area. Couldn't find a way through there, Villa. Steadies himself, Martinez, then kicks long right-footed down the centre. Can Watkins hold this one up? No, he can't. And he can't find McGinn. And the ball is cleared down this near side for Besiktas. His Grifo goes back towards the edge of his penalty area. Lienhart under no pressure whatsoever. Just brings it towards the right-hand side. And then in the end, leaves it for Philip Try. Try back to Lienhart again, just outside the D. First time ball forward now by Try down this near side. It's volleyed clear for Villa, but brought down beautifully by Manzambi. Manzambi out towards this near side, just over the halfway line is Grifo. They switch it towards the right-hand side. This is promising now for Freiburg. Advancing forward over on the far side. And in the end, it goes all the way back towards the halfway line. It's Lienhart inside the centre circle. Lienhart finds Try. Try out to Ginter. And suddenly it's roles reversed here. Everybody inside the Villa half now, bar the Freiburg goalkeeper. Here's Bester. Bester's retreating back inside his own half. Keeps possession. Then the long ball down the centre. This could be interesting. It's headed towards the edge of the penalty area towards Matanovic. Couldn't quite control it. Freiburg have picked it up again on the right side of the penalty area, but the offside flag is up over on the far side. 25 minutes played here at the Besiktas Park Stadium, and still goalless. Wonderful atmosphere though inside this 40,000 capacity stadium. Martinez to take this free kick for Aston Villa inside the D. English teams, of course, looking to make it a hat-trick of European success. If Villa can win tonight, and then, of course, you've got Crystal Palace in the Europa League and Arsenal in the Champions League. They did get 2 out of 3 last year. And, of course, with Chelsea winning the Conference League and Tottenham winning the Europa. No representative in the final of the Champions League, of course, which was won by Paris Saint-Germain. Martinez goes long down the centre, gets too much on it, the Argentinian. Thumbs up from Ollie Watkins. Right idea, but poor execution from Emi Martinez. Here's Lienhart, just outside the D for Freiburg. Goes low out towards Ginter over on that far side. Advancing towards the halfway line, over the halfway line, in fact, now. Back in field it goes to Eggestein. Plays it inside the centre circle to Lienhart. Lienhart's going to leave it now for Grifo. Grifo's seeing plenty of the ball. Finds Manzambi. Manzambi works his way over towards this near side, then nutmegs John McGinn as it works his way out towards Grifo again down this near side. Back to Manzambi. Reverse ball. Is that going to have too much on it? Indeed it is. The run is made by Matanovic, but it's got too much on it. And it's behind, and it's a goal kick for Aston Villa. Touched off low by Emi Martinez to Pau Torres. The Spaniard returns the favour. Decides to go out towards the right-hand side of his penalty area this time. Here's Lindelof now, fed by Ezri Konsa. McGinn holding the ball up beautifully again down this near side. Just allows the ball to come off on the Freiburg player. Throw in for Villa. About 10 yards shy of the halfway line down the Villa right. Matty Cash to take it. Cash is going to go long. Gets plenty on it towards Ollie Watkins. A really good throw actually from the Polish international. Finds Luka Dean over on the far side. Midway inside the Freiburg half. Now it's Lindelof. And the ex-Manchester United man goes back to Konsa inside the centre circle. He's got Cash towards his right hand side. Finds him. Now McGinn down this near side, hugging the touchline. Back in field again towards Cash. And Cash finds Konsa again inside the centre circle. Villa bossing possession. It's struggling to find a way through at the moment. Cash is going to go long towards the edge of the penalty area. Won't find Watkins, and in the end it's just shepherded back to the goalkeeper. Just watched it all the way. Good defensive work by Philip Lienhart, the Austrian. Back it goes to Achabulo. Achabulo goes low out towards the edge of the penalty area. Gets it back from Ginter, and then finds Lienhart now. Lienhart, first time ball, long left-footed towards the halfway line. And the ball has come off of a Freiburg player. It'll be a throw-in down this near side for Villa on the halfway line down their right-hand side. We are edging towards the half-hour mark here at Besiktas Park. Still goalless in this Europa League final. 25-26. Villa finished second in the group phase, which mirrors, of course, the Champions League. in there that starts off with a group phase and then moves into knockout as we go on. And, well, Villa have been pretty much the favourites to win this tournament pretty much from the beginning, to be fair. And in their knockouts, of course, they beat Lille in the round of 16. 3-0 on aggregate. Quarterfinals, it was a 7-1 aggregate victory over Bologna. And then that semi-final, of course, they had to turn that one round. They lost the first leg 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. Turned it round, won the second leg 4-0 at Villa. Here they come again, right in corner of the penalty area. Stabbed in towards the far post by Cash. It's headed clearing out towards the far side. Can Morgan Rogers control it? No, he can't. And it'll be shepherded out of play. In fact, it'll be a free kick, actually, because Rogers has brought down the defender, who was Herflet, and it'll be a free kick for Freiburg, just on the right-hand side of their own penalty area. For the Germans, then, it was a quarter-final. They finished 7th, actually, in the group phase. 5 wins, 2 draws, and a defeat. And they beat Genk in the round of 16, 5-2 on aggregate. Quarter-finals, they beat Spanish opposition, La Liga's Celta Vigo, 6-1 on aggregate. Semi-final, they also had to come from behind. They lost the first leg 2-1 to Braga, and they were helped actually by a sending off early stages of that second leg at home against Braga, who were down to 10 men after 6 minutes. Freiburg winning that one 3-1, and an aggregate score of 4-3 to get through to this final this evening. Long ball played forward for Freiburg, and it's going to be a free kick for Villa. Villa have lost their way over on the far side. Here's Manzambi inside the centre circle for Freiburg. Over the halfway line it comes. His try knocks it out towards Grifo down this near side. Pushed back by the Pole, Matty Cash. But they've kept possession and gone back to Hoffler inside the centre circle. They work it out towards the far side. Kubler. Now it's Bester. Bester again makes that run back towards the halfway line and finds Lienhardt left-hand side of the centre circle. Brings it over the halfway line. Good little spell of possession this from the Germans without really finding a sight of goal. Still Lienhardt just outside the centre circle, squared to Ginter on his right-hand side. Ginter plays it over the halfway line, finds Kubler over on the far side. 1-2 between himself and Eggestein, and immediately the ball goes back inside the Freiburg half as they maintain possession. Eggestein again over the halfway line, closed down by Ollie Watkins. And then the ball knocked out towards the far side by Bester. It's not going to find its intended recipient. Not on the same wavelength there. Bester and Kubler. It's out of play, and it'll be a Villa throw midway inside their own half down their left-hand side. Remember, we will have extra time and potentially penalties as this game is level after 90 minutes. As Luca Dean takes the long throw for Villa towards the halfway line. But there's a foul there, is there, from Ollie Watkins? Indeed there is. Morgan Rogers, I should say. Free kick then for Freiburg on the halfway line to the right of the centre circle. Just pushing into the back of Nicholas Herflet. 36 now, Herflet. Long ball forward now. That's got too much on it. Goes through to Emi Martinez. Just needs a little bit of spark at the moment, this game. Just feels to be drifting, which might well suit the Germans more than it does Villa. They've just not got into their stride yet, Aston Villa. And we've seen what they can do when they get into their stride, but they've lost possession now. Freiburg could take advantage. John McGinn wanted the free kick, not going to get the free pick. And Freiburg advancing towards the edge of the penalty area, and then there's a loose pass from Nicholas Kubler. And Villa have it back on the edge of their own penalty area. Just thinking back to that second leg against Forest, thinking about that win against Liverpool at the weekend. They've lost their way again here, Villa. Now, here's Manzambi. He's going to let one fly, right-footed. Saved comfortably by Emi Martinez. Manzambi's on target, right-footed. Let fly from about 30 yards out. He could have taken the ball certainly closer towards the penalty, if not inside the 18-yard line. It was sloppy from Villa, losing possession. It was Tillemans on this occasion. He just sort of slipped, I think, the Belgian. Martinez goes long now down the centre. And Watkins has done really, really well now. Ollie Watkins advancing towards the edge of the penalty area. Can he find space for the shot? Still Watkins. Can he get the ball out from under his boot? And in the end, he just wanted too many touches, Ollie Watkins. And in the end, the ball is ricocheted, I think, off of John McGinn and gone behind for a goal kick. That was promising for Watkins. He did the work initially really well. Just the long ball forward from Emi Martinez. He brings it down beautifully, shields the ball, controls it, holds off the defender, advances inside the penalty area, and then it was just one touch, two touch, three touches. And in the end, the challenge came in. The ball then hit John McGinn and ricochets behind for a goal kick to Freiburg, who go low out towards their left-hand side of their penalty area. Lienhardt goes long. Underneath that one, there was Ezra Konza. And Konza clears down the line, but he slices it out of play. Now throw in for Freiburg. They look to take it quickly, which they do down this near side. That's going to be a free kick for a foul by Lindelof on Manzambi. Is that going to be another yellow card? Well, I think the referee is going to maintain his consistency. He's going to have to give a yellow card, but I don't think he has on this occasion. Manzambi is down, though, holding his left leg. I mean, it's definitely a foul, and I don't think it's a yellow card, but based on some of the yellow cards we've already had so far this evening from our French referee, it wouldn't have been at all surprising if he had reached for the top pocket, but it's not to be. But the trainer is on. We're inside the last 10 minutes of the first half. It's still Villa 0, Freiburg 0. Unai Emery's 6th European final, and only the former AC Milan, Juventus and Bayern Munich boss Giovanni Trapattoni has actually managed more, 7 of those. And Villa searching for their first major trophy since 1996. It's been 30 years since they won the League Cup. They beat Leeds United at Wembley in 96. Their biggest night since 1982, though, of course, when they lifted the European Cup in the Netherlands, of course, it was that they won that game in Feyenoord. Free kick then for Freiburg, just inside the Villa half, left of centre, and it'll be taken by Vincenzo Grifo, who's been behind pretty much all of the set pieces so far for the Germans. Clips it in right-footed towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. Header clearing out towards the far side, and Villa might have a break on here if they play this right, but they don't. It's cleared, loop back in towards the Villa half, ball still up in the air. Tielemans knocks it down, and then it's forward now. Rodgers, this is promising for Villa as Buendia has it inside the penalty area. Can he get the ball out? McGinn gets the shot in, it's blocked. Comes back to Rodgers, he gets the shot in. That one's blocked as well. It'll fall out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. And then, oh my goodness me, less said about that the better. A really, really poor crossing from the left-hand side from Morgan Rodgers, which goes over the bar. But good work, first of all, from Morgan Rodgers. Advances towards the edge of the penalty area. Finds Buendia. His first touch is lovely. His second is heavy, but it falls from McGinn just inside the penalty area. He gets a shot away. That one's blocked. Comes back to Morgan Rodgers on the edge of the penalty area. He gets his shot in. That one's blocked as well. And in the end, the cross from the left-hand side goes behind for a goal kick to Freiburg. Low out towards the near side. Left-hand side of the penalty area. They go long down the centre looking for Matanovic, but that's tidied up nicely by Ezra Konza, who goes back to Emi Martinez, edge of the 6-yard area. And the Argentinian walks the ball towards the edge of the penalty area, just outside his penalty area, now inside the D. Emi Martinez emotionally said goodbye to the Villa fans at the end of last season and then stayed. Interesting to see if we get a repeat of that at the end of this season. Here come Villa again, but McGinn can't control it, edge of the penalty area. And in the end, it goes back to the goalkeeper by Philip Try. Flips it out towards this near side, headed on by Matty Cash. McGinn again, ball into the box low, looking for Ollie Watkins. It's cleared long again. Lindelof has it for Villa, but miscontrols it. It's good work actually by Matanovic. Spreads play out towards the far side. Villa getting back in numbers as Freiburg come over the halfway line and then immediately play the ball back inside their own half. Just to the right of the centre circle now is Ginter. Finds Manzambi inside the centre circle, takes the ball towards the left-hand side as he continues to advance towards the edge of the penalty area. He's on the left-hand side of the penalty area now, under no pressure whatsoever. A couple of step overs, drills the ball into the 6-yard area. Too much pace on it in the end for the likes of, well, the closest to getting on the end of it at the far post, I think, was Nicholas Bester It's good work down towards the byline. But then he just drills it across the 6-yard area. And Eggestein was in there as well for Freiburg, but he's got far too much on it. And Matanovic as well at the far post. So he goes out to play for a throw over on the far side for Villa. Luca Dean takes it. And they'll get another throw in here just a few yards further forward. Villa. It goes out to play again. Again, Luca Dean will take it. Looks for Morgan Rogers. Can't quite control it. Will Villa get a free kick there? They will. Just to the left of the centre circle. And it's Semi Buendia now who's gone down. Heading inside the last 5 minutes of the first period here in Istanbul. Aston Villa 0, Freiburg 0. And I guess a good sort of test of a game and how exciting it's been is the XG, and the XG for Freiburg is 0.15 and the XG for Villa is 0.38. Who've shaded possession. Aston Villa 56-44. Tillemans now just over the halfway line. On it goes to Morgan Rogers just outside the penalty area. Now Buendia. And Buendia out to the left-hand side. There's the ball into the box. Cut out the near post. We got our first corner of the evening. Good work from Villa, and equally good work at the near post, putting that ball out of play by, I think it was Kubler at the near post. And it's behind for the first corner of the evening. And it's a corner for Aston Villa. Unai Emery showing a little bit of frustration on the touchline. That frustration will disappear if they can find something from this set piece. It's going to be a left-footed outswinger, is it? They're going to go short, in fact. Luca Dean goes short. In comes the ball. Right-footed. There's Tillemans! Volleys it in! What a goal for Aston Villa! It was straight off of the training ground. And Yuri Tillemans, 4 minutes before half-time, has put Aston Villa into the lead in the Europa League final. The Belgian finds the back of the net on the volley. From a corner, the cross from Rogers from the left-hand side, following the short corner from Luca Dean. And Yuri Tillemans becomes the first Aston Villa player since Peter With back in 1982 who won the European Cup for the Villains, and he may well have put Aston Villa on the road to their first major trophy in 30 years. 4 minutes before half-time, the assist from Morgan Rogers, the goal from Yuri Tillemans. It's Aston Villa 1, Freiburg 0, and that is an absolute beauty from the ex-Leicester City man. He catches it beautifully on the volley, right-footed, sends it back from where it came, back across the goalkeeper, diving down towards his right-hand side, stood no chance whatsoever. He tucked it into the corner, did Yuri Tillemans, and Villa have a priceless lead here in the Europa League final here in Istanbul. Game's kicked off again. A little bit of head tennis on the edge of the Villa penalty area, and Villa managed to get it clear. They go back towards the edge of the penalty area, and in the end, it's kicked long by Pau Torres. And Ollie Watkins can't quite control it. Headed clear by Lienhart, and suddenly it's the Villa fans that you can hear here in the Besiktas Park Stadium here. Lindelof now. Back to Tillemans, the goal scorer. Pokes it back to Ezri Konsa. Villa now with their tails up. They want a second here before half-time. Konsa brings it over the halfway line to the right of the centre circle. On it goes to McGinn. Backs into the defender again, and then the Scot just clips it back towards the halfway line, and inside the centre circle it's Pau Torres. On to Tillemans now. My goodness, he took that goal well. He really did, Yuri Tillemans. Knows how to score big goals as well. Of course, he scored the winner, didn't he, when Leicester City won the FA Cup against Chelsea a few years ago. It was the Belgian who got the winner there in a tight game. It's his second goal in the Europa League this season. And Rogers wants the ball here. Rogers has fallen over. I think he wants a free kick. He's not going to get it. And it will be cleared by Freiburg, who are a little bit fried here after going behind. Been a fairly even contest up until that point. Really nothing to choose between the two sides as Lienhart goes long, but that's going to be tidied up by Konsa, who turns and goes back to the goalkeeper. Tielemans. Well, they're singing his name here inside the Besiktas Park Stadium now, the Villa fans. They go back to Emi Martinez. Low ball out towards the left-hand side of his penalty area. Long from Pau Torres. That one's dealt with, though. And inside the centre circle, it's Hoffler. Hoffler challenged by Ollie Watkins. He holds off the ex-Brentford man and then plays it back inside his own half. Ginter up towards the right-hand side. Here's Manzambi. Ball on his left foot. There's the cross towards the far post. Headed across the 6-yard area. Cut out of the near post by Matty Cash. And it'll be the first corner of the evening for the German side. Lovely ball in by Manzambi. And the header across the 6-yard area by Philip Try hits the chest of Matty Cash. And as we head into stoppage time at the end of this first period, Freiburg have their first corner of the evening. And it's going to be Vincenzo Grifo to take it right-footed. He goes short towards the edge of the 18-yard line. There comes the cross. It's a decent delivery, but Emi Martinez is there, grabs the ball and looks to set Villa on the way. He bowls it out and suddenly they're a little bit stretched, the Germans, over the halfway line. Comes Tielemans out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Buendia down towards the byline. Can he get the cross in? He can! Oh! And it's the slightest of touches at the near post, I think, from John McGinn, which has taken a deflection off of a Freiburg player. And it goes behind for a corner for Villa. Well, we all know what happened from their first corner of the evening. This is their second. Villa went short. Cash is coming across the tape. Well, this is interesting, actually, because Cash is coming across to take this one. Let's not forget the previous one was taken by the Frenchman Luca Dean, who went short towards Rodgers. Rodgers with the cross, and on the volley, Tielemans did the rest. It's going to be Matty Cash with this one. Right-footed. I think he's going to swing this one in as well, Cash. Goes low in towards the near post. Falls for Konsa. Does he get something on it? He does, and it goes behind for another corner. Well, they're all over the place at the back there, Freiburg, as that corner came in. It wasn't a particularly good corner, to be fair, from Cash. Didn't get the height he wanted on it, but it fell for Konsa at the far post. Just swung a left leg on it, got something on it, pushed it towards the goal. It was on target. And I think the last touch in the end come up of Eggestein, and it'll be another corner for Villa. 3 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. We're into the second of those. Indeed it was. Just looking at the replay, it was the head of Eggestein that put it behind for a corner. If Konsa had got a better connection, you never know. And it comes again from this near side. It's cleared, though. Cash retrieves it for Villa. Now it's Tielemans. McGinn, right-footed, ball into the box, cut out of the near post. Another corner to Villa. Freiburg are hanging on for half-time here, as Villa look to double their lead before the break. We're in the final minute of stoppage time. Villa leading by a goal to nil. Yuri Tielemans with the goal for Villa. And McGinn's going to take the corner from this near side. Villa's fourth. Left-footed in, swinging from the Scot. And it comes now. Headed clear towards the edge of the penalty area. Luca Dean loops it towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Back it goes now to Morgan Rodgers. Rodgers is pushed back slightly, but manages to find Tielemans. Tielemans low ball right-footed out towards McGinn again, who's still here on the right side of the penalty area following the corner. Clips it towards the far post. There's the header. Oh, it's not a particularly good one from Konsa. And Freiburg will get it clear. But Villa are knocking on the door. They don't want half-time to come here, Aston Villa, at the moment, as they threaten a second. We're in the final few seconds of the first half. McGinn now, level with the edge of the penalty area. Low ball. Buendia tells it. Oh, that's an absolute beauty! But the Argentinian makes it 2-0, and Aston Villa are in dreamland here right at the end of the first half. They've doubled their lead, and it's been a sensational few minutes for Villa. A game that was just drifting. Nothing was really happening, and suddenly we've seen two absolute worldies. The first from Yuri Tielemans, and the second from Emi Buendia, and Aston Villa are on their way to victory here. It's an absolute perler. McGinn with the low ball. Buendia right inside of the D, takes one touch and then left-footed curls it towards the far post into that top corner. There's absolutely no way Noah Achabulu, the Freiburg goalkeeper, is going to get anything on that. And Buendia has doubled Aston Villa's lead in the final minute of stoppage time at the end of this first period. And there goes the half-time whistle. I don't even think there was time to kick off again. It was the last touch, and what a touch it was from Emi Buendia. And Aston Villa are on their way to victory here in the Europa League final. Unai Emery, he looks like he's going to do it again, doesn't he, for the 5th time. Half-time here at Besiktas Park. Aston Villa 2, Freiburg 0. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the second half. Rogers on it goes towards Buendia. Just can't quite control it on the edge of the D. And Freiburg can bring it clear with try, and then he's brought down. That'll be a free kick, will it? Brought down by John McGinn. There are some yellow cards from the first half to tell you about for Villa. Mati Cash and second goal scorer Emi Buendia both in the book, and for Freiburg, Philip Try, who went into the book very, very early on in that first half as well. So no changes as far as personnel goes. And for Unai Emery, well, 2014, 15 and 16 won this competition for Sevilla. 2021 he won it for Villarreal. Penalty shootout, of course, against Manchester United. Now long ball forward for Freiburg, and out comes Emi Martinez, who grabs the ball just on the edge of his penalty area. There were some question marks over whether he went beyond the 18-yard line, but the free kick has been given anyway, so it's all completely irrelevant. So the winners of this competition not only win that trophy, but they go into the Champions League. But of course for Villa, they've already done that via their league position. For Freiburg, it was an opportunity to qualify for Europe's premier competition for the first time, but they've got a mountain to climb in this second half if they're to make that a reality. Villa enjoying themselves now. They're in a comfortable position with those 2 goals in the last few minutes of the first half. Here's Pau Torres inside his own half, turns left-footed and goes back to Martinez, and it's the Villa fans that you can hear who are all towards our left-hand side. Both teams now attacking the stands that hold their own in this second half. McGinn can't quite control it. Freiburg have it back. Watkins wins it back brilliantly. He's been superb this evening, Watkins, and now he's advancing towards the edge of the penalty. He's got to do it all on his own. Can he do it all on his own? He gets the shot in, and it hits Lienhardt, cleared out towards the far side. Deserves a goal, Watkins. He's worked so hard. He's held the ball up brilliantly this evening. And I don't know where Mr. Tuchel is this evening, whether he's in the stands or whether he's watching this one at home, but can only be positive for his England chances. Now here come Villa again, and there's a clip shot from the edge of the penalty area from Emi Buendia. I think he's maybe that goal's gone to his head. I think he tried to lob the goalkeeper there. He wasn't particularly far off his line in the end, and it was a simple save for Atabulo. Now here come Freiburg down this right-hand side with their number 8, Eggestein. Back it goes towards the fair-haired Ginter. Now Eggestein again over the halfway line. Bester now gets involved down this near side. Now Kubler infield towards Hoffler, the number 27. Bester plays it back inside his own half immediately. Here's Kubler. Kubler pushed back by Morgan Rogers on this occasion. Takes the ball into a more central area. And then finds the Freiburg captain, Vincenzo Grifo. Low ball back out towards the near side. Bester again. Bester in field, touched off and back towards the halfway line, and inside the Freiburg half again is Matthias Ginter. Ginter floats one out towards the far side, spots Manzambi in a little bit of space. Manzambi cuts infield slightly, advancing towards the edge of the Villa penalty area. Manages to find Matanovic. He loses possession. Now McGinn can bring it clear, and McGinn just overruns it slightly, and that allows Lienhardt to win it back. Goes back to the goalkeeper, all in yellow this evening, Noah Atabulo. Now it's Ginter again. Ginter goes square to Lienhardt. Absolutely no chance at all for Freiburg with those 2 goals. So well executed. 2 stunning finishes from Yuri Tillemans and Emi Buendia. And up until that point, it was pretty much 50-50 here at the Besiktas Park Stadium. Long ball forward now towards the edge of the Villa penalty area for Freiburg. That's tied up and clear. Tillemans onto Rogers. Rogers touched a little bit heavy, and then concedes the foul as he tries to win the ball back as he brings down Max Eggestein. Free kick then for Freiburg, just inside the Villa half to right of centre. 52 minutes on the clock. And Aston Villa, who were looking for the first potentially of 3 trophies for English teams this season. It'll be over to Crystal Palace next in the Conference League next week to see if they can do the same. Freiburg take the free kick. They're the ball left-hand side of the penalty area. Manzambi turns just outside the D. It's crowded out by Villa players. Couldn't get the shot in. In the end, the cross comes in from the right-hand side, and it's comfortably into the arms of Emi Martinez. The cross from this near side from Ginter. And Martinez bowls it out to the left-hand side of his penalty area. On it goes towards Morgan Rogers. Now Tillemans again takes it up. It went inside the Villa half, just to left of centre. Casually advancing towards the halfway line. Rogers again. Rogers turns one. Can't quite get past the second player, who was Try, but he's won a free kick. The referee's pulled it back for the initial challenge. And the initial challenge came in from Matthias Ginter. So it'll be a free kick for Villa, midway inside the Freiburg half. Yuri Tillemans, the man who opened the scoring this evening, will take this one. The Freiburg defensive line on the edge of the penalty area, clipped in towards Ollie Watkins, who stretched out a leg and got something on it. I'm not entirely sure he was onside. The ball's gone well wide in the end of the goalkeeper's right-hand post. And it'll be a goal kick to Freiburg, which they've taken quickly. Here's Ginter, right-hand corner of the penalty area. Sweeps it across the 18-yard line to Lienhardt. And they need a goal, and they need a goal pretty quick. They need a little bit of spark at the moment, the Germans. Who can provide it? Over the halfway line they come. Bestes in space down this right-hand side, and here he is. First touch takes him back towards the halfway line, and then he does play it back inside his own half towards Ginter. Now it's Hoffler inside the centre circle. Villa's attempts on goal 12 to the Germans 3. Stretching over on the far side. The ball just about kept in by Philip Try. Plays it back towards the halfway line inside the centre circle again. Played square to the right-hand side to Ginter. Ginter finds Bester down this near side. Cuts infield onto his left foot. There's the cross, and that'll be dealt with easily by Pau Torres. Heads it clear out towards this near side. And the ball in the end has come off of Ollie Watkins, I think it is. Indeed it has. It'll be a throw-in for Freiburg. Midway inside their own half. Midway inside the Villa half, I should say. Down the right-hand side for the Germans. All in red this evening in their home kit. They are the home side, Freiburg. And the throw-in is going to be taken by Johan Manzambi, the Swiss, and it comes towards the edge of that 6-yard area. Gets a little flick on, might fall kindly, and in the end it's pinballing around inside that penalty area, and Villa have managed to smuggle it clear and out towards the far side. It's retrieved on the halfway line, down the left-hand side for Freiburg. And now it's inside the centre circle with Lucas Kubler. Manzambi towards the right-hand side. It was his long throw that caused difficulties inside that penalty area for Villa. He's pushed over by Emi Buendia. The referee's allowed play to continue. Got to be careful, of course. Emi Buendia is in a yellow. It's Philip Lienhardt. Out towards the far side, and Trey immediately plays it inside the centre circle once more. Eggestein has it now. Square to his left-hand side. Eventually it finds the feet of Philip Trey. Pushed back by Matty Cash. Has to play it back inside his own half. And now Ginter. Right-hand side of the centre circle. Immediately infield again to Lienhardt, who takes it inside the centre circle. Square to his left. And then the low ball out towards the far side by Lienhardt to Try immediately back inside his own half. Villa won't mind this. Plenty of possession for the Germans, but they're not hurting Unai Emery's side at the moment. It's all very comfortable for the team currently sitting in 4th place in the Premier League. They've got a last day game against Manchester City, which is now irrelevant, of course, really. Certainly as far as Manchester City goes. I say irrelevant, of course, if we're led to believe the rumours. It's going to be Pep Guardiola's last game as Manchester City manager. We're led to believe that his 10-year tenure at the Etihad is coming to an end, and former Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca is set to replace him, the former Leicester City and Chelsea manager, of course. Here's Manzambi down this near side. Midway inside the Villa half, hugging the right-hand touchline. Pokes one down the line towards Bester. That's got too much on it, and that'll be shepherded out comfortably by Pau Torres. That's a goal kick for Aston Villa. 12 minutes played at the start of the second half. Goals from Yuri Tillemans in the 41st and Emi Buendia in stoppage time. It was the last kick of the half, actually. And what a kick of the half it was, as kick it was to end the half as well from the Argentinian. Curling a left footer into the top corner. No chance for Noah Achabulo. Here's McGinn. Back to Tillemans. Inside the centre circle. Low ball out towards his near side. Luca Dean. First time ball down the line. This is good from Villa. Now Buendia, left hand side of the penalty area. Buendia. Can he get the cross in? Low! Oh, it's 3-0! Because arriving at the near post was Morgan Rogers to slot it home. And that surely is that. We've not even reached the hour mark. And Aston Villa have a 3-goal lead here in the Europa League final. And Villa are heading to victory. Unai Emery is going to win his 5th Europa League. That was a stunning move from Villa. It really was. Down the left-hand side. The first time ball down the line by Luca Dean towards Buendia was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant ball this. Left-footed. Buendia down towards the byline. Couple of touches. Left-footed. And Rogers just gets there at the near post ahead of Philip Lienhart to poke it in from about 4 yards out. And it's Villa 3, Freiburg 0. And this is turning into a glory night for the Villains. It really is. And there's no way back for Freiburg now. I didn't think there was a way back, to be fair, at 2-0. Villa so comfortable. And now, well, the party pieces can commence, surely. And Aston Villa are going to end 30 years of hurt. 30 years since they last won a major trophy. 1996, the League Cup. And Morgan Rogers, just before the hour mark, has made it 3-0 to Villa. Well, this could not have gone any better, could it? Villa just stepped on the accelerator pedal before half-time. Got those 2 goals up. All 3 goals have been excellent, I have to say. The first 2, the finish is absolutely sublime from Tillemans and Buendia. And for this one, a really well-worked team goal, finished off by a man who wants to be integral to the England team in the World Cup in the summer. Well, he's not done his chances any harm, has he? By getting on the end of that move and that cross from Emi Buendia. Here's Manzambi, edge of the penalty area, as Freiburg look to get back into it. Best right side of the penalty area. Back it goes. In comes the cross, right footed. It's a decent delivery. There's the header, and it balloons over the bar. And it's behind for a goal kick to Villa. They won't mind that. Matanovic, the Croatian, that's probably the first sighted goal he's had all evening. And they're going to make changes here, the Germans, on the hour mark. Looks like a double change. 27 and 9 are the first numbers up on the board. Herfler is going to be replaced by Lucas Huller. And the number 37 is coming as well, Max Rosenfelder. He's the second player to come on. And Villa in cruise control here. And the second player to come off, by the way, was Lienhart, the number 3, the Austrian. Double change then. No changes for Villa. Don't need to make any changes, do they? Long ball forward now by Emi Martinez. Really well kept in as well by John McGinn. So many good Villa performances this evening. McGinn, one of them. Rogers has actually been quiet so far this evening. But he got on the end of that move to get the third. And I think the only thing missing really from this Villa performance probably is an Ollie Watkins goal, because he's worked tirelessly up front for his side. He really has held the ball up beautifully, brought players into play, and he just wants that goal to his name as well, I'm sure. Here's Manzambi, left-hand side of the centre circle for Freiburg, goes low out towards his left-hand side. And Villa, well, they can just cruise through this last half an hour, can't they, really? Freiburg have got it all to do. Ball goes down a player on the far side. It will be a Freiburg throw. Last touch off of Cash. Throw-in is almost level with the edge of the penalty area down the left-hand side for Freiburg, and it'll be taken by the number 44, Johan Manzambi, who's been on long throw duties all evening. One of them nearly caught Villa out. Let's see what he can produce now. And it comes. Gets a little flick on as well. Konsa gets it clear towards the edge of the penalty area. It's still loose. And it's Watkins in the end who lashes it clear towards the halfway line. Rushing back is Manzambi to retrieve for Freiburg. Under pressure from Watkins, turns and goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, right hand side of the D. First time clearance, right footed, long. Down the centre. Poke forward towards this near side, but it's miscontrolled. Throw in for Villa. The fans that you can hear towards our left-hand side, they are in dreamland. Victory in Europe is tantalisingly close now with 27 minutes on the clock. We've got to go back to 1982 when they were crowned kings of Europe, when they beat Bayern Munich on a famous night in the Netherlands to win that game by 1-0. A year after being crowned champions of England, they were champions of Europe, and what they've craved for in this really successful period under Unai Emery, there's no denying that. It's just lacked a trophy. Well, not anymore. Here come Freiburg over the halfway line. Good work actually by the substitute Lucas Huller. Commentator's curse, he then loses possession. Here's John McGinn. McGinn again using his backside well. Back it goes to Luca Dean. Luca Dean turns and finds Pau Torres. Left hand side of the D, square to his right hand side is Konsa. Konsa to Tillemans. He set Villa on the way, didn't he, with that brilliant volleyed finish following that corner routine. Now McGinn turns on the halfway line, just slightly overruns it. Back it goes. Oh my goodness me, always sold the goalkeeper short there, and Watkins was onto it. Good turn of pace in the end by Achabulo, the Freiburg goalkeeper. Now there's a Villa player gone down over on the far side. That will be a free kick for the foul by Igor Matanovic. Long ball forward now for Villa. Villa are looking for more. Watkins. And there's an offside. In fact, Watkins had strayed just a little bit too early. Free kick for Freiburg. Into inside their own half. Just looking at a replay of this one. Oh, it's very tight. He is off. He is off, Watkins. About half a yard, I'd say. Ball looped over the top. Quick free kick taken. Looking to catch Freiburg napping. Villa are going to make a change. And they're going to bring on the ex-Everton man, Amadou Onana. The Belgian is going to replace Victor Lindelof. So the ex-Manchester United man comes towards the near side and is replaced by the ex-Everton man, the Belgian, Amadou Onana. Free kick then for Freiburg. They've taken a quick one following that substitution, but they still have possession inside their own half. It's worked out towards the far side eventually. His try just over the halfway line. Now Manzambi inside the centre circle, screaming for it over on this, or down this near side is Ginter, but he's gone out towards the left-hand side instead. And Villa just looks so comfortable here. Freiburg just can't hurt them. They haven't been able to lay a glove on Unai Emery's men all evening. And even if they were to lay a glove on them now, it'd be too late. Villa 3, Freiburg 0. Tillemans, Buendia, Rogers with the 3 goals. Low ball back to the goalkeeper from Freiburg by Ginter. Now it's try goes down the line. Villa doing well to push Freiburg back here. They're going to have to go back to the goalkeeper. And he kicks long, left-footed towards the halfway line. Underneath that one is Onana, but he slightly misjudged his jump for the ball. Wins the ball back though, and then wins a free kick. Free kick for Villa. Right-hand side of the centre circle. The foul by the number 17, Lucas Huller, one of the senior players in this Freiburg team. They have got Ginter at 32, Kugler at 33, Herfler at 36. Plenty of experience in this side. No trophy winners though, and that looks set to continue. Freiburg have never won a major trophy. Aston Villa have had to wait 30 years, but it's incoming midway through this second half, leading by 3-0. Tillemans is going to take the free kick, right-footed, clips it towards the right side of the penalty area. It's loose on the edge of that Freiburg penalty area, but Freiburg get it clear. Buendia retrieves, cushions the header out towards McGinn over on the far side. Now, John McGinn gets the cross in towards the far post, but that's a comfortable grab in the end by Noah Achabulo, who hasn't stood a chance really with the 3 Villa goals, the 2 stunning finishes at the end of the first half, and that brilliantly worked third goal with Rodgers nipping in at the near post to get his foot on it before the defender. And Freiburg, I'm struggling to think of a decent chance that the Germans have had as they lose possession again. Now here it comes forward towards Watkins. Ollie Watkins bearing down on goal. Oh, and then his touch is poor. He's won a corner, Watkins, but it could have been so much more than that. It just showed enough of that to Matthias Ginter, who puts it behind for a corner. If that touch was better, then Watkins would have had a shot on goal and possibly an opportunity for a fourth for Aston Villa, who will have their 5th corner of the evening. It's good defending, actually, from Matthias Ginter. Still doing his job and still pleased and celebrating the job that he's doing. His team are losing by 3-0, but he still celebrated that sliding challenge on Watkins. John McGinn with the corner from the far side, left-footed in, swinging for Villa. Plenty of height in it towards the far post. Oh, there's the header. I think it's come off the outside of the post. Nana it was. It comes back to Luca Dean, left-hand side of the penalty area. Now Rodgers. Rodgers works his way out towards the near side. Ball down towards the dead ball line, and then it's cut out again. Another Villa corner. Another really well-worked set piece from Villa. McGinn looping it high towards the far post. And Nana was there with the header. I think it hit the outside of the post. Just looking at a replay of it now. Yeah, indeed it did. Hit the outside of the post. Bounced out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Towards Luca Dean. And eventually the ball has gone behind again for another corner. Emi Buendia is going to take this one. Right-footed. It's going to go short. Gets the ball back. Across the edge of the 18-yard line. Now Matty Cash fancies getting on the scoreline, but his right-footed shot sails into the crowd towards our left-hand side. It's behind for a goal kick. We're inside the last 20. Villa 3. Freiburg 0. Aston Villa and Unai Emery are heading to victory here as there's more movement on the Freiburg touchline, the bench, as they prepare another change. Those couple of changes that they already have made in this second half have made absolutely no difference whatsoever to the way in which this game is being played out in the second half. Freiburg has certainly seen more possession. They're not doing anything with it as they go long. Cons is underneath that one with a cushioned clearance. Now Anana loops it out towards Cash. Cash pushed back by Bester, goes back towards the edge of his penalty area. Here's Pau Torres. And Torres goes long and low down the left-hand side. Nobody there in a white shirt, though, so Freiburg will have it again. They're readying a double change by the looks of things on the touchline, Freiburg. Here's Manzambi. Midway inside the Villa half, goes low out towards this near side. Here's the substitute, Lucas Holler. Leaves it for Manzambi. Steadies himself. Thought about the cross, thinks better of it. Cuts infield, ball on his left foot. There is the cross towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. In comes the cross. Emi Martinez comes. That is as comfortable as a save as Emi Martinez will make all season as he looks to drill it down the centre. Looks to release Watkins. Watkins goes down in a heap with the defender. And nothing doing for the referee. Max Rosenfelder it was, battling with it. Here's Manzambi again for Freiburg, just outside the centre circle inside the Villa half. Sweeps it out towards this near side. Here's Bester, just holding off Emi Buendia. And wants the free kick, and he gets the free kick down this near side. Luca Dean, sorry, it was he was holding off. So free kick to Freiburg. Opportunity maybe to make these changes. And it's going to be the number 7 to come on. Derry Schuurhand. Kubler and Grifo are coming off. And Makengo is the other player that's coming on. Jordi Makengo, the number 33. So 4 changes for Freiburg. Just the one so far for Villa. Onana coming on for Lindelof. Free kick to the Germans. Just inside the Villa half. In fact, it's a little bit further forward than that. It's almost midway inside the Villa half. About 15 yards in field from the right-hand touchline. And it'll be taken by the ex-Benfica man, Nicolas Besta. Left-footed. In it comes. Martinez comes. Pushes it clear unconvincingly. And the shot back towards goal is grabbed by Martinez. It wasn't initially a good punch by the Argentinian. Just sort of flapped it a little bit. Bowls it out towards this near side. Luca Dean down the line. Watkins. This is well worked by Villa. Buendia back infield to Onana. Brings it over the halfway line, right hand side of the centre circle. And then finds Matty Cash over on the far side. Cash takes it back inside his own half. Now Konza. Konza square to his left. Pau Torres goes long towards Watkins, but it's got too much on it. Goes over the head of the ex-Brentford striker and goes all the way through to the Freiburg goalkeeper, Noah Achibula. 16 minutes left on the clock. Villa 3, Freiburg 0. And it's worth reflecting, isn't it, on what Unai Emery has brought to this club when he replaced Steven Gerrard late in 2022. And let's not forget they were relegated from the Premier League in 2015-16. They finished bottom of the Premier League that season. Then he got 17 points, 3 wins. One of the worst Premier League seasons on record. And he spent 3 seasons in the Championship before returning to the Premier League under Dean Smith, as it was then. Steven Gerrard then took over and initially looked like it would work out for the ex-Liverpool midfielder, but he was shown the door. Unai Emery came in, and it's been a real period of fruition for Aston Villa, just without the icing on the cake of a trophy. But that is all going to change in 15 minutes plus stoppage time, with Villa leading here by 3-0 and searching out more goals. Here's Tielemans. Tielemans on it goes towards McGinn, who's popped up down this left-hand side. Still McGinn, edge of the penalty area. John McGinn across the edge of the 18-yard line. Gets the ball back. It must be 4-0. Oh, and he's put it into the side netting. Emi Buendia. That would have been a lovely goal. I don't quite know how Buendia's missed, bearing in mind the goal he scored in the first half. And this one, I don't quite know how he's missed. It was such a brilliant move as well. McGinn involved. Oh, it was such a lovely move, and it deserved the finish from Emi Buendia. And from about 6-7 yards out, he's put it into the side netting. He had to score. McGinn, square across the 18-yard line. Tielemans with the first-time ball towards, he trickles it through towards Buendia. And he tries to beat the goalkeeper. He shows the goalkeeper, he tries to beat him with the eyes, looking as if he's going to go across goal. And he looks to then hit it at, beyond the goalkeeper towards his right-hand side at the near post, and he puts it into the side netting. He cannot believe that he's missed that. It should be Villa 4 up. We've got a break in play because Johan Manzambi is down receiving attention for Freiburg. And Freiburg are a beaten team in this, their first ever European final, just their second ever major final after the German Cup in 2022, which they also lost. They lost that on penalties to RB Leipzig. And for 40 minutes, they actually matched Aston Villa. They didn't create anything, but nor did Villa, really. Just one shot early on from Morgan Rogers, edge of the penalty area, which was comfortably saved by Noah Atabulo. But then from the moment Yuri Tielemans broke the deadlock with that delicious volley following a corner, it's been one-way traffic, and Villa have been far, far superior to their German counterparts. Goal kick then for Freiburg. I think Manzambi's okay. He's back on the pitch. They do have one further substitution they could make. Freiburg. Long ball forward now for Villa. Watkins, can he bring it down? Oh my goodness, he brings it down. He makes the ball stick as well. Brilliant from Ollie Watkins as he rushes out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Bester gets back. That'll be a corner. Really well worked again as Watkins orchestrates the Villa fans behind the goal towards our left-hand side. He's been excellent this evening, Ollie Watkins. He really has. He deserves that goal, really. Corner then for Villa. 12 minutes left on the clock. And it'll be taken by, is it Buendia coming across to take it? It's going to be Cash, in fact. Matty Cash, 7th corner of the evening for Villa. Freiburg have had just the one. Cash with his right arm up in the air. Drills it in, gets a little flick on. Shot comes in, McGinn. Straight at the goalkeeper. Well, McGinn was in so much space in that penalty area. He had an opportunity to pick his place, really. He just hit it straight at the goalkeeper. And Zambi goes long down the left-hand side for Freiburg. Cross comes in, and that one's dealt with easily by Pau Torres. Cleared for Villa out towards the far side, and they'll then get a free kick for the challenge by Nzambi. Pleads his innocence with the referee on McGinn. Referee having none of it. Free kick then for Aston Villa in their right-back position. And Villa, who have Manchester City at the weekend. Now, just a reminder of these Champions League places. We already know in the Premier League, obviously, Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United and Villa had qualified. Liverpool look like they're going to get the 5th place. But of course, the way in which it works, which sounds very complicated, but I'll try and explain it as simply as I can. If Villa finish 4th and Liverpool finish 5th, that's your 5 teams in the Champions League from the Premier League next season. But with Villa winning here, and obviously that provides qualification to the Champions League, if Villa were to finish in 5th, in order for that to happen, they would need to lose their final game against Manchester City, and Liverpool would need to win their remaining game. I believe Liverpool have got Brentford at the weekend at Anfield. All the games obviously kicking off at the same time on Sunday. Then the 6th place becomes available for Champions League, and that would be Bournemouth, which would be a hell of an achievement. Bournemouth need just a draw against Forest at the weekend. The only other team that could take their place is Brighton, but Brighton would need to win and Bournemouth would need to lose in order to get that 6th place. So plenty to play for. And Villa are going to make a double change. And Emi Buendia, who scored the goal of the game, that curling left foot effort from the edge of the penalty area in stoppage time at the end of the first period. He comes off to a rapturous applause from the Villa fans in this double change. So Emi Buendia and looks like Luca Dean as well. Indeed it is. And we're going to see Ian Matson, the Dutchman. And we're also going to see Jadon Sancho, who many people may forget is still a Manchester United player. He's on loan from Manchester United. I don't think he's going to be returning to Old Trafford in the summer, but where he's going to end up going remains to be seen. We're into the last 9 minutes now here at Besiktas Park. Aston Villa 3, Freiburg 0. Aston Villa are cruising towards the Europa League title. Villa's first major trophy for 30 years and Unai Emery's 5th in this competition. Extraordinary, really is. Absolutely extraordinary. Villa down the right-hand side. That one's put out of play. It'll be a throw-in. Good defensive work from Jordi Makengo. Thrown for Villa on the halfway line down the right-hand side. Cash will take it. Villa, of course, who were in the Champions League last season and had a really good run at it, didn't they? Eventually lost to the eventual champions, Paris Saint-Germain, but my goodness, they gave them a scare, didn't they, the Parisians at Villa Park. Freiburg get a free kick, foul by Onana. Midway inside their own half, just to left of centre. Onana with the foul on Manzambi. He's probably been one of the standout players actually for Freiburg, who just haven't created anything, have they really? They've not given Villa any sort of scare. Their XG, by the way, for the evening is at 0.21. Villa's at 2.08. They have had 4 shots in total, 2 on target, but they've not had anything that's troubled Emi Martinez, anything that's troubled the Villa back four. They've got another free kick here inside their own half. And they're going to pump it forward long. Nokin to just go square to his left-hand side. They're a beaten team here, Freiburg, as the Villa fans continue to make their voices heard here at Besiktas Park. Besiktas aren't going to get a free kick here. Foul by McGinn. And it's a decent position as well to clip one into the box. It's about, must be all of about 40 yards from goal. It's level with the left-hand side of the Villa penalty area. And it'll be taken by Shurhan, the substitute. McGinn's gone in the book for that one as well. Just the second caution for Villa this evening. And I don't think a third yellow card, I should say, for Villa. Matty Cash and Emi Buendia already in the book, and now John McGinn. I don't think he'll mind about that too much, the Scot. In comes this corner towards the far post. There's the header. Oh, and Emi Martinez saves. Well, that's the closest they've come. Well, in fact, the referee's whistle has gone. I'm not sure that was for the initial header or the follow-up, but the... Let's have a look. Was there an offside in here? Yeah, indeed there was. It was a lovely free kick towards the far post, and they're arriving about 6 yards out in the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Was Johan Manzambi, got the shot in, pushed clear by Martinez, but Manzambi was in an offside position anyway, so if that one had ended up in the back of the net, it wouldn't have counted. Free kick then, Martinez to take it. Right-footed, long, and fair play to the Freiburg fans. Not one of them, I can't promise not one of them, but looking around the stadium, it doesn't look like anybody's left, and they're still making their voices heard as well. Obviously, it's the Villa fans that you can hear more, but they're still waving their flags, the Germans. They're enjoying themselves here. Brilliant, brilliant run to get through to this Europa League final. And they're going to make the most of their evening. It's going to be a change by the looks of things for Freiburg. Christian Gunter's coming on, and he's going to replace Niklas Bester. So that's the 5th and final change for Freiburg. And Villa have got a throw-in, level with the edge of the penalty area from the far side, the Villa right. Matty Cash is going to take this one for the Villains. Morgan Rogers down towards the byline. Can he get the cross in? No, he can't, but he can win a corner for Villa. They're 8th of the evening. Really good work from Rogers there, because there was nothing really on for him. And the best he could have hoped was to get a corner for his side, and that's exactly what he's managed to do. So corner for Villa over on the far side. And it'll be taken by John McGinn, left-footed in swinging. Now can Villa get themselves a 4th in the 87th minute? Can we see the icing on the cake here in Istanbul? McGinn now steps up, left-footed, plenty of height on the ball towards the far post. Maatsen, can he keep the ball in play? He does keep the ball in play, but he loses possession, and Freiburg can bring it clear, but they gift it straight back to Villa. Now then, here's Onana, and then it goes back to Konza. Konza's pushed in the back there by Shurhan. That'll be a free kick to Villa. Midway inside the Besiktas half, just a few yards infield from the left-hand touchline. Referee just having a word with Max Egerstein, but it was the foul by Shurhan that's resulted in this free kick for Villa. And here comes a double change for Villa. Their final change of the evening by the looks of things. Douglas Luiz is going to replace, well, we got Pau Torres and Tielemans, who set Villa on their way this evening with that goal in the 41st minute. Tyrone Mings as well is coming on for Villa. And it was Yuri Tielemans who's getting high fives left, right and centre on that touchline for Villa, unsurprisingly. And a free kick for Villa from this near side, midway inside the Freiburg half, a few yards infield from the left-hand touchline. And it's going to be taken by McGinn, who's coming across. I think McGinn's just going to take a short one, is he? Indeed he does, just touches it off to Maatsen, gets the ball back to Scott. Holds it up down this near side, turns back to Maatsen again. Maatsen back towards the halfway line, and Douglas Luiz with his first touch. Luiz, of course, who was a Villa player, then went to Juventus, and now he's back here on loan from Juventus, so goodness knows what's going to happen with him at the end of the season. He's not played a great deal, to be fair, since he came back to Villa Park. Here's Tyrone Mings, left-hand side of the penalty area, goes long, left-footed towards Watkins. Can he get a flick on? He can, but it's got too much on it, and it's going to go all the way through to the Freiburg goalkeeper, Achabulo. Low out towards the far side. Here is Makengo. Makengo goes low back towards the edge of his penalty area. Now Eggestein. Eggestein back to the goalkeeper again. They're a beaten team here, Freiburg, and they have been for quite some time, ever since that third goal went in. Not that they were knocking on the door before Villa got the third. It always felt more likely that Villa were going to get a third than Freiburg were of getting a goal on the score sheet, getting themselves back into this game. We're in the 90th minute. Aston Villa 3, Freiburg 0. And there's going to be a lot of celebrating, not just in Istanbul tonight, but back in Birmingham as well for Villa, as Freiburg win a throw-in right next to the corner flag down their right-hand side. It'll be taken by Johan Manzambi, who again is going to hurl one into the Aston Villa penalty area as we head into stoppage time here in Istanbul. The Villa fans ready to celebrate and end 30 years without a made a trophy. In comes that throw-in from Manzambi. Cleared out towards his near side, back to Manzambi. First time ball into the box. That's a lovely delivery as well, but Konza gets his head on it and gets it clear out towards the far side. Cross comes back in from the left-hand side this time. And this time it's Maatsen getting it clear for Villa. And in the end, the ball's gone out of play down this near side. Last touch off a Freiburg player. Throw into Villa, level with the edge of the penalty area. We are now in stoppage time. Stoppage time. And they're only going to play the 1 minute of additional time. Isn't that nice to see? It really is. It's really refreshing. Just 1 minute to add on. It's like the old days. It really is. And it does feel like the old days, because Aston Villa are winning in Europe like they did in 1982 when they won the European Cup. Peter With and all that with that goal. Can Villa get one more? Can they get the icing on the cake? Here they come forward. What might thus be the last attack? Will it come through for Watkins? No, it won't. It's put out of play down this near side. Villa, seconds away from Europa League glory.